What's going on, guys? Dots Gaming here, and today I'm bringing you all a battleground commentary for my stamina warden in the Elder Scrolls Online. So this is the build I'm currently using on my stamden in ESO. This is mainly built for CP PVP, but I wanted to bring it into no CP. Thankfully, this build will be improving in no CP going into next patch. But I wanted to do a PvP commentary on this guy, and the thing I love about the BG commentaries is they're quick to record, very self-contained, and they actually do give a lot of good footage and a lot of teachable moments. So, and the last one I did, you guys really seem to like. So we are back with another one today. I've actually been really enjoying my stamden lately, man. It's been really fun. I really tried to focus this build around the big ultimate burst. Our peak weapon damage is incredibly high. So I'm a huge fan of this setup and what I'm running at the moment. So hopefully you guys like the commentary as well. This was the first game I queued in a little bit. I had a vacation, and so this was the first game I queued after getting back, so I'm a little sloppy. As you can see, I walk in with my dizzying swings here, and I don't even bring the shulks in. So again, a little silly. When I walk in here, right, I see all these guys grouped up. Let me actually back up a little bit more. We see all these guys grouped up here. I should not be going straight into dizzying. Shulks would be insane amounts of damage right here. So again, just a bit of a silly mistake on my part. Let me actually lower this volume a tad. Bit of a silly mistake on my part, and you're about to see another silly mistake right here. So this guy comes into me. Again, I go for the dizzy, and I'm rooted, okay? There's no reason I shouldn't press forward momentum before going into my Dawnbreaker. But I go into Dawnbreaker, and this guy just rolls straight through me. And because we all know that the Dawnbreaker conal is very sloppy, I completely whiff it, and the guy just ends up just dying to one of my light attacks instead of getting hit by Dawnbreaker. You also notice that literally every buff I have is down with the exception of forward momentum. So, first encounter, very sloppy. Need to pick that back up. So as you can see, we go back into all of our buff refreshes. Very good. Okay, we have a bunch of guys dealing damage here. We finally go into the shulk. See, we're finally turning it around, figuring out how to freaking play ESO again. So we kite back down here. Green team is all grouped up, so we're just trying to go into shulks, get a bunch of damage on these guys. Not a lot's happening, not a lot of damage, so they have a ton of AoE on us. So we pull back a little bit, move forward. When we get a couple guys grouped on the stairs, we go into a couple Dawnbreaker combos, and we are able to take them down very easily. Again, I get my shulks on them, get that major fracture up. I need to be casting it a little bit more here. Good, we had another shulks cast, very good. Go into the D-swing, hit that guy with the stun. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem that my shulks did hit him, so we went into another one and landed those. Started to chase that guy a little bit. Don't want to overchase, though. Want to be sticking near my team. This is a good group of people in this BG. Don't want to overchase. Get a nice triple Dawnbreaker on those guys, as well as a D-swing execute. We start pushing into these guys. Buff maintenance is looking very good. Get a kill on that guy. And that guy runs away, so we don't want to overchase him. We know we have purple team behind us, and we have green team in front of us. So we really want to be sure to reposition ourselves. So I go into this guy. I notice he's pretty squishy, so I push into him. Again, my Lotus Flower dropped off. Huge problem. And I way overcommitted for that kill. Way overcommitted for that kill. So, as we see here, right, I'm pushing in. We got the purple team behind us. My team's fighting them, so I know, okay, I'm fighting these two guys by myself. I'm letting my green Lotus dropped off, so I do not have any heals from that running. I also do not have my leeching vines up, so I don't have those heals running. I literally just have my armor buff and forward momentum ticking. And I'm going onto this guy. I'm not hitting him with shulks. And I take a huge burst of damage, and because I don't have a lot of my passive healing running, I just die. I just straight up die. So, again, a bit of an overcommitment there without having my defenses properly up. Very silly mistake on my part. Overall, the gameplay has been a little sloppy thus far. Buff and debuff maintenance has been pretty good. It started off bad, but it's been much better now. And it's going to improve, thankfully, over this game. It's going to improve over this game dramatically. I had to shake off that little bit of rust from being away from PvPing for like a week and a half. So need to get back into things and stop being a silly boy. So we get all of our buffs running, and we start heading towards our fight here. Again, this build is focused around big bursts. We got to get that shulks down for the major fracture. The big burst it offers, dizzying swing for the stun into the Dawnbreaker. That's going to be our goal combo here, basically. So we see this guy is basically off by himself. His team's to the left, so we just push into him and get a nice kill on him. I see these guys grouped up, so I go into my Dawnbreaker. I don't believe I used Shulks here. Again, I missed a primo Shulks opportunity. Man, what am I doing, dude? Yeah, we go into Dawnbreaker, and I think the reason I went into just the executes and the dizzying swing is because I saw these guys were pretty close to death, but if I hit the Shulks first, the Dawnbreaker would have hit even harder, probably would have gotten some kills there, and wouldn't have needed to worry about trying to execute everybody. So I see that my buffs and debuffs are starting to drop off, so I kite back a little bit, actually get all of my buffs running. I get my vigor up, I swap back to my front bar, need to get my forward momentum back up. I go into a Dawnbreaker. I think that one actually whiffed, unfortunately. Nope, it hit. I think it was just a bit of a weak slap. So we ended up finishing that guy off, though, with our execute. Executed another guy. Again, really, oh, God, put my forward momentum up, please, dude. Got to get those passive heals running. So we finally get the forward momentum back up. We start to reapply all of our buffs again. And red team, we are currently in the driver's seat of this game right now. Currently in the driver's seat. So we notice that the green team starts to respawn. We don't want to get pinched, so we kind of kite back a little bit here. Kind of want to position ourselves in a favorable spot. I get with the poison injection, and Annie drops his purify here, so I am sure to cleanse that off of me. Don't want any debuffs running on me unnecessarily. I pop my potion, go in on this guy. I get yoinked on my Dawnbreaker, so I'm not able to follow it up at all. Again, I still didn't even lead Shulks into that fight, so a bit sloppy there. And as you can see, I actually lead with Shulks, hit the dizzying swing, and go into my execute. So that's why that guy dies that fast. That major fracture, especially in no CP, is a huge, huge boost to your damage. It's gotta be sure to maintain it 100% of the time. So we kite back as a group, waiting for our other teammate to spawn. We notice that green is as 4. I do get hit by a clench through the wall. Get all my buffs running and everything. We know we're going to be a good fight here. I bring in, get all my passive healing rolling. I go in with a Dawnbreaker. Again, I went for that instant damage instead of queuing up the Shulks first. Again, another dumb mistake. It seems to have been the theme for this game of me being really silly with my Shulks. So we end up actually wiping the green team, though. We have so much damage on this team, we're able to wipe them out, basically. I follow this guy up with the Dizzy into the executes with the Dawnbreaker, and we're able to take him down again. Shulks need to be prioritized here. Like I said, I'm going to harp on my own gameplay here. This is what I do with my patrons when they ask me for their PvP gameplay reviews. If they make a constant mistake, I harp on it, and I'm going to do that with myself, too. You know, it just goes to show that even though it looks good, I'm getting kills, you know, I'm executing people, I'm dealing tons of damage, there are still improvements that can and need to be made, okay? Because the damage I could be doing could be even higher. The amount of the speed at which I'm killing people could be faster. You just got to make sure you're always doing things as optimally as I can. So we get our Shulks there into the dizzying execute combo, working very, very, very well for us there. So again, we see a group of people grouped up. We go into Shulks, into dizzying, and we actually get fracture up on that big group of people, which is very, very well done. I'm noticing that my buffs on the back bar are beginning to drop off. I should go back to that and switch soon. I did Shulks into dizzying swing on that guy. He does take a lot of damage, and so I celebratorily Dawnbreaker. Actually, it was queued up, and unfortunately, it was a fucking waste of a skill, but it is what it is. So we get all of our buffs re-queued. I get yoinked by this guy. I should go into the dodge roll here. Good. Into the heal. Should have thrown up Leeching Vines there. Not sure why I didn't. I have the Magicka for it. No reason not to throw it up here. We go into the dizzying swing, into the execute. Just take that guy down really, really quickly. We used our potion, get some resources back here. We're getting all of our passive heals rolling because we have some dots on us. And we're going back into this green team. We get our Shulks queued up into the dizzying, into the Dawnbreaker. Unfortunately, I believe that Shulk missed that guy. So we're taking some good heat here, so we're going to kite back a little bit. Unfortunately, I went to my back bar, applied my vigor, but for some reason did not reapply my Lotus Flower. No idea why I did that. Go into dizzying, into execute on that guy. Again, should have led with Shulks like I do on this guy, because look how much more damage he takes, man. Look how much more damage he takes. Shulks is just ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous. We lead with Shulks on this guy. But unfortunately, we do not get to get it off. Unfortunately, because our team just literally wrecked this dude's face. So we're still in the driver's seat, man. Red team is driving this game. So we go into purple team, land our Shulks, get that major fracture up on everybody, get a triple Dawnbreaker, and we put this purple team here on the back foot. We refresh all of our buffs, actually playing this fight incredibly well. Go into Shulks, into Dawnbreaker, into Dizzying Swing Execute. That was a very, very well played fight. Probably my best played fight of the day, just in terms of buff and debuff maintenance. We noticed that we have green team coming from behind. So here, I want to refresh all my buffs before we engage them. Just taking a little bit of stock at where my team is. We charge up our speed buff here, and we notice that green team's going to pinch in on purple, so we want to basically come in from behind them to make sure that we put them in the middle of the fight and not ourselves. So my armor buff's running a little bit low here. Unfortunately, I am low on magicka, but we see this big group of people grouped up. We go into the shulks. We get that major fracture rolling on everybody into the Dawnbreaker on that group of people here. When I notice a couple of these purple guys pushing back here, so I want to follow them up and make sure I get those executes again. We get our shulks rolling. Boom. Execute into dizzying swing, and that is our game. So we went 12-1 here with 15 assists. Not bad. I believe I was first in damage, I think. We still led the pack in damage here, which I'm very, very happy with. But again, there was a lot of mistakes. Man. Gotta clean this. I gotta clean that stamden gameplay up. And the thing is that if you look at my score, it's like, oh, well, I did really well. 12-1 and 15, highest damage. But as you can see, there were still a lot of places to improve. Lots of improvements could have been made. I guarantee you my score would have been even higher if I actually played that stuff well. What I am proud of for this game, with the exception of that one time that I overpinched, was I felt that my positioning overall this game was very good. Again, that we only had one death from when we were out of position, and that's why we died. So I'm very happy with how my positioning was this game. I felt that overall it was very good. Buff maintenance was very hit or miss. There were some times where my buffs were really maintained very well, and then other times where they were just not. And Warden is a very buff maintenance heavy class, so that is something that really I need to pay attention to and work on, and not tunnel on, you know, and just fucking try to dizzy swing execute people when it's like you need to maintain all of your buffs. Another thing, like I said, that I did screw up on a lot was basically kind of in the same vein, was I need to make sure I'm always leading with shulks, not leading with dizzying. Normally I'm much better at that. I don't know why it was so sloppy this game. It's the obvious combo is shulks dizzy into execute / Dawnbreaker, but for some reason this game I was really sloppy about it. You know, I was just tunneling my opponents and ended up being sloppy. Thankfully we were able to still get a ton of kills because the damage on this build is really high, but it would have been even more kills, even faster. People would have dropped much quicker if I had actually played that properly. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this PvP commentary, and hopefully you learned something from this. We will, like I said, moving into Scalebreaker, you guys are going to be getting a lot of these. You're going to be getting a lot of these, but you're going to be getting it for 6 different classes, not just Stamp Crow. You're going to be getting it for 6 different classes, and you can expect an absolute, like, ton of build guides for not only the classes that I am playing on live, but anything that I've written builds for, theory crafted builds that I have. You guys are going to be getting a ton of build content, and I hope that you are excited for it just as I am. So if you guys like this video, please drop a like on it. Any questions or comments about the gameplay, please leave a comment below. And if you guys want to keep up with all my content here on the YouTube channel, please hit that sub button as well as the bell to keep notifications on. Thank you all so much for stopping by today. Very much appreciate it. As always, I'm Dots Gaming. I'll see you all in the next video.